Okay. Okay. Back from a little bit of a vacation. I hope all is well with everyone. And I'm going to wait a little bit until the site populates because I'm a little bit early. Okay? Just a little talking first, and we'll wait till a couple more people get here. I'm about 3 or 4 minutes early. They don't get here until about 3 or 4 minutes later, after 7:30. Anyway, we're going to start working on a lot of the Gary Chester Chaffee books, preferably time functions. And what I've come up with now, in addition to his symbol patterns, is more symbol patterns. And I didn't write anything out at the moment because I want to introduce you to this. Okay? And it's, again, the stick control book. Like I keep telling everybody, my primary source is the stick control book when I teach. Actually, everything you need to know, believe it or not, is in the stick control. Who's in the chat? I mean, who's watching? Get in the chat. Let me know what's going on with the video, okay? Hello? All right. Now, let me start the lesson anyway. This way, this person that's in here, these two people that are in here now, I'll get an idea. First off, I have page 5. Hey, come on. I have page 5 of the stick control book copied and laminated. I must have about 20 of these pages all around the house. And it's from how you doing, Kevin? Ricardo, how you doing? I have page 5 copied and laminated. And I have them all over the house. And actually, you know, if you go to 6 and 7, they're just different combinations. Here's what we're going to do tonight. Let's start. I'm going to give you an idea. We're going to use 3 voices tonight. Okay, we're going to use the bass drum. Come on, snare drum. We're going to use the bass drum, snare drum, and hi-hat. So what we're going to do is interpret the stick control book, not the way it's written. It's written in eighth notes, written as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So what we're going to do is play the line. That's a 1 measure increment. We're going to consolidate the first measure and the second measure and count it as 1 E and a, E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okay? Who's this? I'm fine. How you doing, Paul? So we're going to interpret that line in 16th notes. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Now, what we're going to do I didn't write all this out, but you will get it tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon before the lesson. We're going to do the first line, but we're going to eliminate the lefts and just play the rights on the hi-hat. But you need to maintain a 16th note count in your brain or out loud, however you want to do it. 1 E and a 2 E and. I eliminated the lefts. That's what I get. 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 and. Now I go to line 2. Same thing. This time it's written 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. What we're going to do, we're going to play in 16ths. 1 E and a 2, a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And we're going to eliminate the lefts. So now we have 1 E and a 2 E and a E and a 4 E and a. Okay, line 3 and line 4, some of the lines are really happening, some of the lines are just for you to understand the concept and develop the focus and control. Line 3, we have, instead of 1 and 2, and I don't really need to go over it. We're interpreting the whole page in 16ths. So line 3 would be 1 E and a 2 E, 3 E and a 4 E and a. So now I'm eliminating the lefts again, so I get 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a. Line 4, 3, 4, yeah, 4, sorry. It's 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E, 4 E and a. We eliminate the lefts and we get 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. Line 5, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Line 6, 1 E and the 2 E and 3 E and the 4. 1 E and the 2 E and 3 E and the 4 E and. I'm going to stop there for a minute. Now, I'm going to give you this page. I'm not going to, I'll do the whole page. That's 24 lines of these symbol patterns. And I'm going to label this Symbol Patterns, okay, Stick Control Book, Part 1. Then you're going to get Part 2, 3, 4, 5, actually Part 24. There's a lot of writing here. Okay, so who's this, Joe? Okay, so we're going to take now, two things are going to happen. They're going to be constant. Just to get familiar with this, to give you a pattern. The bass drum is going to be on the counts of 1 and 3. The snare drum is going to be on 2 and 4. Now we've got a whole load of these foot patterns to do, but I want to take the simplest foot pattern first, so you understand the interpretation. Then during the week, as the week progresses, we'll expand on it. So, if I did the first one, remember the bass drum is going to be, I'm thinking 16ths. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. That's constant. Now this is simple. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 E and 2 and. I'm using that as the symbol pattern. That's line 1. That's in the Chaffee book. Oh my God, where did he get that from? All right, line 2. Same thing, it's going to be in a Chaffee book. You're going to hear it. Now we're going to E and and. E, da. 1 E and 2 E and E and 4 E and. We're going to put the bass drum on 1 and 3. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Simple. Line 3. That's 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Now I'm being melodramatic with the hand technique and positionings. All right, I just want to keep a good example for you. But if I'm like, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and that's the 3/16. You're gonna have 1 E and the 2. 1 E and the 2. That was wrong. I get that on a hi-hat. Okay, that's line 5, or 4 rather. So we have 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. Now you see how that right hand is going to develop the pattern with the how the stick control book eliminating the lefts is going to help develop the pattern on the right hi-hat. Do we understand the concept, gentlemen? Do we understand what I'm doing? Yes, no, questions, yes, maybe, perhaps. We're going to expand on this. This is the simple part of the week. Now we go to line 5. I mean, I could be a jive ass and do a commercialized teaching shit, but I'm not going to do that because I want to be honest with everybody. So we're going to do line 5, just the right hand. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Now remember, the bass drum is on 1 and 3. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Do you understand it there? Who's this? Kevin. Kevin. Okay. No, I'm sorry. Kevin. Is this your first time here, Kevin? Yes? No? You are on my mailing list? So you have line 5 now. Now we're just doing a simple foot pattern. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4. 1 and 3, 2 and 4 on the snare. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4. Okay? And the cymbal pattern is 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E. I got 1 E and 2 E and. Okay, you hear that one? Line 5. Let me do that a little slower. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Takes on a whole different texture now. 6 is one I really, really like because it kind of sounds a lot funky eventually. At first, it's just the mechanics. The right hand is 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 2 and 4 in the snare. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and bass drum 1 and 3. We all get this? Am I going too fast? You want me to slow it down? Or you guys are all advanced students and maybe I should study with you? Let's see, there's how many people in here today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ricardio, do you understand this? What's going on? Come on, Mouse. You guys understand me? Want me to slow it down? All I would like you to do is take the page 1 through 24. Like I said, sometime tomorrow, before the lesson, you will have the sheet on it. And the bass drum is going to be on the counts of 1 and 3. Snare drum 2 and 4. You're interpreting the line. You eliminate all the lefts. You're interpreting 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 and the 4 E and playing only the rights on the hi-hat. Nice and slow. 1 to 24. And we're going to incorporate the syncopation book and some reading with this. We'll take, for example, one of the lines. Like the nice one too is actually 8. You're going on the beat and off the beat. You're going 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1. It's nice. It's a lot of hard work. Just playing it by itself is not the problem. And you're going to take all those Chaffee's patterns, 1 through 24, I believe, or 22, against these patterns. 24 patterns. It's a lot of writing. And you will get them. We'll do it nice and easy, nice and slow. Okay? All right. So, since not last Monday, the Monday before, what have you guys been doing? What have you been practicing on? And I think that's a lot of work here for you. Kevin has got it. Paul's got it. Ricardo, Joe's got it. Here's 2 more. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's it. Okay. There's no questions on that so far. Now, this is just one interpretation. I want to introduce you to another interpretation. We're going to go, if we have time to do it this week, yes. If not, we'll do it next week. All right, now, that's the straight up and down. We're going to go to the funk with the 2 and 4. Now, symbol patterns you learned for a jazz pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's just straight ahead. Now, here's what we're going to do. No questions yet. All right, good. Let me put my glasses on so I can read. Here's what we're going to do now. We're going to do the same interpretation, sort of. We're going to reference off the stick control book, and all the rights are going to be played on the ride cymbal, and you're going to eliminate the lefts. No snare drum. Bass drum is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Hi-hat's going to be 2 and 4. For now, I'm just going to give you the writing and variation. We're thinking of line 1 now. Swung. 1 and 2 and 3 and we eliminate the rights, lefts rather, and we play all the rights on the high snare ride cymbal. That's it. Hi ride. So we're going to have 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4. Simple interpretation. Then God knows what we're going to do with the left hand and the bass drum and the hi-hat. But that's the interpretation with the ride cymbal. Second line, it's written 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we're going to play it 1 and 2 and 3. Eliminate all the lefts. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. You got 1 and 2 and 3. The 2. Line 3, you got 1. You're going to have 1, the 2. 1, the 2, 3, the 4, the 1, 2, the 3, the 4, the. Line 4, 1, 2, 3. Different cymbal patterns for the jazz. Line 5, 1 and the 2. I know Joe Shields and Paul is really going to like this. Well, no, Ricardo. Which one, the syncopation to the jazz or to the straight up and down 2 and 4 on the snare drum? Is that what you're asking me? Okay. If that's what you're asking me, I'm going to do it 2 different ways here. I'm going to do the syncopation book. How would I interpret the snare? We're using the line, okay, first off, in the syncopation book, or we're doing a stick control book, but in the syncopation book as the cymbal pattern. Let's say, I don't know what page, I'm just going to give you an example in 4/4. 1 E and the, 2 E and the, 3 E and 4 E and the. That's written, say, in the syncopation book. What you're going to be doing is 1 E and the, 2 E. I'm sorry, what did I do? 1 E and the, 2 E and the, 3 E and the, E and the. You're going to play that with the right hand on the hi-hat. And then you're going to drop the 2 and 4, and then we're going to develop, or we're going to reference all the bass drum patterns. That just what I'm saying has a simple formation right at the moment. If you're playing the bass drum on 1 and 3, it makes things simple just so you understand the interpretation. Don't worry about the syncopation book. I'm not taking any lines right now. I will, though. I wanted it to do the swing, and the swing is the ride cymbal pattern. We could do yeah, you got me all confused with that question. That's all right. Line 1. All right, I'm not playing no bass drum, no hi-hat, no snare drum. My right hand, the cymbal pattern. Line 1, the stick control book, rights only. I'm interpreting the lines swung. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Line 2, stick control book, you're shifting over from the 1, 2, 3, 4 to all the does. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Line 3, you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'm just explaining and demonstrating the right hand part right now. There's no left hand part with this one yet. There's no bass drum yet, and the hi-hat. Usually the hi-hat would be 2 and 4. I want to really straighten out that question. I hope that answered your question. All you're doing with the snare drum, Ricardo, all you're doing with these exercises, except for just now the swing, if you're thinking that the stick control book as, let me go back to line 1. You're thinking of the stick control book as 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm demonstrating this so you can interpret it. I'm not expanding on it. I will expand on it tomorrow evening. Well, that's the cymbal pattern. The only thing you're going to be doing against that cymbal pattern is playing the bass drum on 1 and 3 and a snare drum on 2 and 4. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and. It's just my interpretation. Do you understand that? You got it. That's just the ride cymbal pattern on the swung. If I go to line 5, I'm thinking of line 5 as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm swinging it, and I'm eliminating the lefts. So I'm taking the rights and just playing them on my right cymbal. 1 and 2, the 3, the 4, the 1, 2, the 3, the 4, the 1. Now, if I gave you an exercise with the left hand to play it with that constant, you're going to have some supersonic, what's the word I want to use? Supersonic, I don't know. You're going to be a crazy kind of coordination. You're going to have so much coordination, it's insane. You understand that, Paul? You like this? The swung part? Not that you're ever going to play it in a song all the time. Ding. You're going to mix it up. But that's where you're going with it. Okay? Now, I am going to write it out just the one way, though, first. I'm going to do the 16ths first, and we'll go back to it tomorrow evening, and I'm going to drop some foot patterns in there instead of 1 and 3. I'm actually going to use Chafee's foot patterns that he came up with. Plus, in addition to that, excuse me, I'm going to use the stick control book for foot patterns. So we develop a great sense of control and a great sense of coordination. You got it, Paul? You like that, huh? This stick control book drives me crazy. I'm going to tell you that right now. You know, no matter what I do, if I'm outside, sitting on my porch, having a cigarette, I'm thinking about an exercise in the stick control book. If I'm cutting my lawn, I'm thinking about something from the stick control book. If I'm rototilling my lawn, my garden, I'm thinking of the stick control book. The only time I don't think of the stick control book is when I'm with a woman. Okay? Any questions? Ricardo, you are on my email. And who was that other gentleman? He was the first guy in here. I'm going to announce this tomorrow. I'm going to do, definitely, that's Kevin. Are you in here? Kevin? Kevin! Oh, it's hot in here. Okay, with all that being said, no questions, no problems. I will be back tomorrow evening, 7:30. I will go now and write all of this out. Kevin, are you on my email list? Okay. All right, so you guys, you too, everyone, have a good night. You're welcome, Paul, Kevin, Joe, Ricardo, whoever I forgot. I'm sorry. Have a good night. And it's going to be intense from now on. So, everybody have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow, 7:30. Come on.